Hola compañeros, feliz miércoles, primer miércoles en la casa de este hybrid model attempt number 2. ¿Te gusta miércoles en la casa? ¿Te gusta? ¿O tú prefieres miércoles en clase? ¿Cuál es tu preferencia? Bien. Hoy en la lección vamos a hablar un poquito de el examen que es jueves para el grupo azul y viernes para el grupo amarillo dorado, ¿sí? Um, en el examen ustedes necesitan hablar, ¿sí? Hablar. No escribir, no. El examen es hablar. I will speak to each one of you for 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutos o 3 minutos. ¿Sí? Hablar. Y nosotros vamos a hablar de la rutina en tu casa. ¿Sí? La rutina en tu casa. 2 personas mínimo. You're going to tell me about at least 2 different people at your house. The Google Docs assignment the other day, you had to write 3 different like subject pronouns. We're focusing on 2 people, at least 2 different subjects. And the reason I'm saying at least 2 subjects is I want to make sure that you're able to conjugate reflexive verbs for at least 2 different subjects. And the rubric that I'll be using, I'm not showing it to you right now because I don't want you to get hung up on looking at a rubric. I'm going to walk you through it a little bit, but I want you to go preparing for the speaking project itself and not worrying about, will I lose points if I don't say this, or how many points? I'm going to walk you through the most important things that you need to know about the rubric. Number 1 thing that you need to know about the rubric, you're not going to fail or shift a letter grade entirely because you forget to because you forget one step of conjugating a reflexive verb. Okay, I'm not looking for extreme perfection. Reflexive pronouns, I do want to make sure that you use the me, te, se, nos, o, se. I want to make sure that that's part of it because it's such a large part of this unit. And then, of course, the conjugations o, as, a, amos, ais, an. That's kind of a part of the review unit, like we said. Okay, but if you make one mistake with that conjugating reflexive verbs, you're definitely not going to fail. And I'm going to guarantee that you won't move from an A to a B just because of that. Okay? Now, it could mean the difference between a higher A and a lower A, see? But it's not set up to be like a determining factor of how well you're doing in my class because of, one mistake when you're speaking. Because remember, with world language, the most important thing is communication. Can you communicate? And you can definitely communicate just fine while making mistakes in conjugation. So I'd rather have a student who is fluent in displaying their ideas orally than a student who takes 10 minutes to think about exactly how they're going to say something and talk really slow. That's not very effective communication. Effective communication is just speaking and making mistakes if a mistake happens. See? But since we do have all day today to prepare for tomorrow, I would like it if you did come in with an idea of what you're going to talk about. La rutina diaria. ¿Sí? Ahora, 5 actividades en total. 2 personas en total. That doesn't mean 10 activities. I'm not saying that you have to tell me 5 activities that each of the 2 people do. No. 5 en total So you can tell me 4 things that you do, but at some point you have to talk about, brother, sister, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whoever it is that you're going to tell me about. Grandma, grandpa, see? At least one other person. Dos personas en total. And remember, when you switch people, you're no longer saying yo me ducho. Now you'd be in the él se ducha, ella se ducha, etc., etc. ¿Sí? Próximo, la hora. Make sure we're using a las 7:15, a las 7:30, a las 7:40. Don't use son las here. Son las is saying it is 7 right now. Son las 7? Mm-mm. When we're describing our rutina in la casa, we're going to use a las, saying at 7 o'clock. This happens. Oh, excuse me, I'm making this after school, and I am just worn out after a day's teaching. Lo siento. So the time each activity is performed. Yo necesito escuchar 3 partes del cuerpo. 3 partes del cuerpo. ¿Por qué? Why? Because that was, an important part of this unit. Your partes del cuerpo pink sheet. We did spend a third of this unit just learning body parts, okay? Remember, las manos, el pelo, los dientes, los pies. See, there's a lot of things you could use with lavar. You could also use cepillar el pelo. Cepillarse el pelo, me cepillo el pelo, me cepillo los dientes, o me lavo los dientes, me lavo las manos. You can you could say 3 cosas with the verb lavar. Yo me lavo los dientes, el pelo, y las manos. You just hit 3 body parts with one verb, lavar. See? Now, you'll notice here that I do say 5 actividades diferentes. Those could be 5 activities. Some of those could overlap on verbs. Remember, lavarse los dientes is a different activity from lavarse el pelo. Lavarse el pelo is probably done in la ducha. Yo me ducho, yo me lavo el pelo. Después, afterwards, yo me lavo los dientes. Con la pasta de dientes y el cepillo de dientes, which brings me into my final part for the exam. 2 items from the daily routine vocabulary. This is on the bottom of the pink sheet for rutina diaria. For example, el espejo. Yo me maquillo los ojos. Ooh, what are we saying? I put makeup on my eyes. ¿Sí? My profe. ¿De qué habla? Sí, en el espejo, using the mirror, in the mirror. El jabón, me lavo las manos con el jabón. Sí. El champú, me lavo la cabeza con el champú. El pelo, el cabello, me lavo el cabello con el shampoo. See? So these are all of the things that I need to hear when you're talking to me about la rutina en tu casa y mínimo 2 personas. See? So tell me about all of these things. See? Now, if you're, missing something crucial, we're using Spanish the whole time. I will prompt you several times to try to get parte del cuerpo. Te lavas, ¿qué parte del cuerpo te lavas? ¿Sí? Or you're forgetting the routine. ¿Qué usas para lavarte las manos? ¿Qué usas? ¿Usas el teléfono para lavarte las manos? ¿Sí? No. ¿Qué usas? ¿Sí? So I'll try, if I see you're really missing something, ¿a qué hora? ¿Sí? I'll try to, prompt you to say things if I feel like you're missing out on, a crucial aspect of this summative, okay? So this gives you things to prepare for. What could you do? Write things down. You could study the Quizlet from yesterday. You could just look at the pink sheets, front and back of the pink sheets. Try to study that way. Your purple guide. Remember, if you haven't studied your purple guide yet, you could do that. You could go back in and look at your quizzes. I have all quizzes graded. Uno, dos, y tres. See? So I'm just going to let you spend the rest of today, the class time that you have allotted for today, preparing for this summative. Again, blue group, Grupo Azul, mañana, jueves. Grupo Amarillo Dorado, viernes, Friday. ¿Sí? Gracias, compañeros. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me. I'll be checking my email all day today. Gracias y hasta mañana.